actually ready to get into a special edition of Top 3 / The Weekend Report. Now I have my homeboy Q here with me.
Hello, hello, hello.
You know, we got to get into some things.
Yes, let's get into some things.
So the debate was last night. Right?
Yes.
And you know, I didn't get to see all of it.
That's
so
okay, I got
without
you.
further ado, let's get into it. So I have 4 questions for you.
Okay.
So number 1, who was the winner of the 3rd Democratic debate last night?
You know, I think the clear winner was Beto O'Rourke. Hands down, he was super, super strong on healthcare. I really loved his answers about how to deal with race in America and the rise of white supremacy. And absolutely his response on machine-style weapons on our streets.
Critics call this confiscation. Are you proposing taking away their guns, and how would this work?
I am. If it's a weapon that was designed to kill people on a battlefield, if the high-impact, high-velocity round, when it hits your body, shreds everything inside of your body because it was designed to do that so that you would bleed to death on a battlefield and not be able to get up and kill one of our soldiers. When we see that being used against children, and in Odessa, I met the mother of a 15-year-old girl who was shot by an AR-15, and that mother watched her bleed to death over the course of an hour because so many other people were shot by that AR-15 in Odessa and Midland. There weren't enough ambulances to get to them in time. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
And really going forward and challenging this notion of keeping them on the streets and said, yeah, we're going to confiscate your weapons. And it was so strong and so forceful, and a lot of times Democrats don't like to push that line because it's a Republican talking point that, oh, they're coming for your guns. But Beto was really, he's just gotten to a point that a lot of Americans have gotten to, that we're tired of the mass killings. I mean, every time you look up, every mass killing has been with an assault style weapon, and Beto is just done with it. And so I think he really got a lot of the positive headlines today, so he was definitely the clear winner last night.
And that's kind of interesting because, I mean, what other use is the, I mean, do they go hunting with that? Or
I have yet to hear a good argument as to why a regular citizen needs an AR-15.
You don't need it, and you wouldn't hunt with it because it would tear your meat up, so you would have nothing to eat or sell. Those are weapons of war. Those weapons were built to kill the enemy. Now, I definitely believe in, you know, if you want a handgun, a shotgun, cool, to defend yourself and your family, but we don't need something that can shoot off 30 bullets in 3.5 seconds.
Now, if you're out there living that life, you might need that. If you're out there, you know what I'm saying? If you're out there trapping,
well, we're going to pray for them and tell them, come on back.
Doing that type of stuff. Yeah, but it's definitely meant for war.
For war, definitely.
All right, well, I have another question. Now, Twitter exploded last night talking about Joe Biden and Castro getting into it. So what exactly happened? Give us the tea.
Okay, Twitter was on fire last night. There was a heated exchange between Joe Biden and Julian Castro.
They do not have to buy in. They do not have to buy in.
You just said that. You just said that 2 minutes ago. You just said 2 minutes ago that they would have to buy in. You said they would have to buy in.
Have to buy in. If she qualifies for
Are you forgetting what you said 2 minutes ago?
Are you
forgetting already what you said just 2 minutes ago?
We're talking about healthcare. And so Joe Biden was explaining his plan about how people would be able to buy in. He really wants to build on Obamacare. He does not like the idea of Medicare for all, like Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. And so Julian Castro, who also worked in the Obama administration, pushed back on the notion that he basically was saying Joe Biden was lying in a sense. And so they got into this spat because Joe said something and Julian tried to make it seem as though Joe did not remember what he said 2 seconds prior. And so it was definitely shade. It was real live shade on the debate stage, and the whole arena erupted, right? And so people directly after the debate, political pundits were saying that Julian was wrong for what he did in attacking Joe Biden's age or attacking his quote-unquote fitness. Right? And it's so ridiculous.
Because that's what needs to happen.
That is what needs to happen. It's a debate.
Trump is definitely going to do that.
Trump is definitely going to do it. He is. And we're going to want someone to do it back.
And he's already doing it.
Correct. He's doing it to every single one. And what I think the problem is people aren't looking at it in layers. People are looking at it like, oh, Julian is being ageist. Side note, Joe Biden never said what Julian said, so that's one. But I think the fact that the crowd erupted and this became a big story needs to be looked at. Why did the shade land how it landed? There has to be some type of truth to it, because what we all know is that Joe Biden is quote-unquote gaffe prone, i.e. you make a lot of mistakes. So the shade landed. So we need to look at that.
And that's a real issue.
All right.
Yeah. It is.
Okay, I have two more real quick. So now I saw headlines about Andrew Yang giving $1,000
Oh,
to
yes.
10 Americans.
Oh,
for a year,
yes,
honey.
yes.
And I'm just trying to see, what's that about? How you
That's
sign
his
up?
plan.
My campaign will now give a freedom dividend of $1,000 a month for an entire year to 10 American families.
Listen, I definitely signed up last night. I'm not even gonna.
What's the link? Help
Okay,
us.
Andrew Yang, 2020.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. So what he's saying, because his presidential platform is kind of based off on this $1,000 freedom dividend that every American would get if he were to become president, and he has a way that he's going to pay for it through taxes and everything else. He really is following that Alaska model. Alaskan residents get a check every month from the state. So what he wants to do is do it for the entire country, and so this was kind of a tactic to get people in. So he's giving $1,000 to 10 Americans for 1 year. All you have to do is sign up on the website. And that was it.
Now, I believe he's basing this whole campaign and platform on the fact that Amazon is blowing up.
Correct.
Walmart is now blowing
Correct.
up and firing cashiers and
Correct.
going more towards
Automation.
and people are losing jobs.
Yeah.
But yet these companies are making bucks
Billions.
off of eliminating.
And not paying taxes.
And
Exactly.
I was just gonna say that.
So it all makes sense if you look at it
Yeah,
that way.
to tax them.
Why are they getting all the money?
Correct.
And we're not benefiting from it?
Correct.
The
Why
fact
can't we
that
all
that's-
benefit?
The fact that somewhere
Yeah.
in the budget there's enough for $1,000 to be given out.
Correct.
Is something need to be
Come on.
looked
And
into.
so we the people, right?
Okay, all right. Last but not least, so why are people upset and wanting to boycott ABC after the debate, though?
So ABC, I think they really had a misstep. So after the debate, a Republican organization ran an ad against Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which is fine, right? Anybody can run ads, but the ad showed a picture of Alexandria and it burned from the face out.
This is the face of socialism and ignorance. Does Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez know the horror of socialism? My father was minutes from death in Cambodia before a forced marriage saved his life. That's socialism. Forced obedience, starvation. Mine is a face of freedom. My skin is not white. I'm not outrageous, racist, nor socialist. I'm a Republican.
And it was talking about how socialism will destroy this country. And then it went to shots of other socialist countries that may have killed their residents. They literally had dead bodies on this ad, like lined up in rows. It was way too much. It was highly offensive. Two, to me, it almost kind of incites the violence that you are trying to perpetrate or trying to show that Alexandria will somehow bring. It just didn't land correctly. And so people thought that ABC should have risen above and not put bucks over what was morally correct because they took the money for the ad.
Okay, regulate. All right. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming in and giving us
Always.
the recap, honey.
I love
so
being
go
here.
ahead and give your social media so people can
Social
follow
media,
you.
all social media is the Q with Q, just how you spell it, just how it sounds. The QUEUE with QUE.
All right, so we're about to take a quick pause for the cause and pay a couple of bills. Now, honey, on the other side, don't forget, I got Trending with Angie T coming up. You are locked in with the weekend show. And DJ Certified. Let's get it.